You're listening to the Real Estate Sessions, and I'm your host, Bill Risser. With nearly 25 years in the real estate business, I love to interview industry leaders, up-and-comers, and really anyone with a story to tell. It's the stories that led my guests to a career in the real estate world that drives me in my 10th year and over 400 episodes of the podcast. And now, I hope you enjoy the next journey. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 424 of the Real Estate Sessions podcast. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for telling a friend. I'm celebrating 10 years of this podcast, the Real Estate Sessions podcast. It started August 1st, 2015, and this Friday will be August 1st, 2025. Where did the time go? Look, when I launched the Real Estate Sessions in August of 2015, my aim was not to chase trends. Really, it was just to get a sense for how to run a podcast. But as I got going, I decided to try to figure out how to preserve real stories, full of nuance and failure and reinvention and creativity and courage. Across nearly 420 episodes by mid-2025, that mission remains. With each conversation, I've prioritized human backstories over industry buzzwords. CEOs who once sold vacuum cleaners, CCOs who once led bands, and leaders who quietly changed their communities. From day one, I avoided flashy marketing talk. Instead, I asked curious questions. What turned that idea into action? What setback shaped you? That approach unlocked stories listeners tell me still resonate, stories about grit, connection, and transformation. By season 9, we'd surpassed 400 episodes, each a fragment of real estate's cultural tapestry. Special episodes include the season 10's A Journey Through 10 Seasons, where I recently revisited 20 guests whose stories helped define the show and whose lessons echo beyond property. Notable interviews included Joe Rand's spontaneous ranting and raving. I still laugh thinking about recording those interviews. Sean Carpenter on building relationships, solving problems, and having fun, something every agent should embrace. And as my 10th anniversary with the podcast crept closer, I tended to go off on some other angles, right? Like episode 405 was a deeply personal solo monologue. I shared my 6-year curse, my cycle of major health events since West Nile fever in 2006 and colon cancer in 2012 and melanoma in 2024, reflecting on what endurance taught me about empathy, presence, and connection. I also referenced how my longtime friend, John Bjorlie, continues to teach me about joy and resilience. Speaking of John, he's been a part of my story for nearly 25 years. 4 years ago, he was diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer. I've shared this before. But rather than limp along, John chose something extraordinary, a Die Happy tour, a way of reconnecting with old friends and family, celebrating life instead of mourning its end. I actually chronicled that tour with episode 400. Basically, he's reframed cancer as an invitation to spread joy. He surprised people, tipped generously, hosted celebrations, even attending his own wake. It became more than a personal journey. It became a testament to living fully on one's own terms. In episode 419, I shared on-air updates as John entered hospice care. He described when his oncologist said, "I'm firing myself," signaling the shift from trying to cure to comfort care. Even in decline, John found solace in golf outings with friends, favorite restaurants, and gentle humor. And these episodes weren't just updates. They became living lessons in how we can and should respond to mortality. John has shown me that blessing others, savoring small rituals, and honoring shared history matter deeply. Reviews over the years echo a consistent message. People tune in not for tactics, but to connect, to hear truth, complexity, and heart in real estate. I've been humbled by some messages, like, this isn't just a real estate podcast, it's a place to learn what matters. In 2019, the show received the Inman Innovator Award, an industry nod that validated the value of depth over flash. So what have 10 years of running a podcast taught me? This journey has reinforced a few truths. Consistency builds trust, integrity amplifies voice, and persistence endures when ego subsides. I've learned more from questions and answers, and from listening more than speaking. But looking ahead, I see a slowdown. As I transition into season 11 and beyond, I'm planning something different. I'm slowing the podcast down. Instead of weekly episodes, expect maybe one a month. Why? Because I'm writing. I'm crafting a memoir centered on 25 years of friendship with John Bjorlie, detailing not just his Die Happy tour, but every ride, every conversation, every round of golf that shaped the narrative of connection between us. It's a story that transcends industry, geography, or career. It's about love, mortality, resilience, and what it means to walk alongside someone through triumph and fading light. Thank you so much for listening, for learning, and for walking this path with me.